Yo, shout out to the Most High. It's always eyes, even though Lawrence State is LD. Is also known Lawrence One for another episode of I Need to Know. Got my special guest, Yogi Calhoon, back in the building. What's happening, boy?
Hello.
For sure. What's happening, man?
You know, just staying on it, man. You know what I mean? Got the new project coming out. You know what I'm saying? Quality over quantity too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm blessed, man. I ain't got no complaints, just working.
Okay, so you already dropped part one, right?
Yeah. Part one already out.
Okay, well, let's talk about what you think is going to be the big difference between 1 and 2.
1 and 2. I kept the marketing the same with the name, Quality over Quantity 1 and Quality over Quantity 2, because sonically it's similar.
Okay.
Part 1, you know what I mean, is real smooth. You know, some people will call it like highway music. Quality over Quantity, it's like 5, 6 tracks. And then like the content of it, you know, it's not really no room for people to hate on it or disagree with it. Meaning like it's content, it's good subjects on each song, it's lyrical, the production is great, the hooks is good. So I called it Quality over Quantity that first time because the producer who I actually worked with, he produced the whole thing, and working with him, I only had a limited time, so we got done what we could, and that's why I came down to Quality over Quantity. His name is Psycho. Man, shout out to Psycho. He from West Texas. And this time around, I was back in the Bay, and I was able to do it again, but I got different producers. I got DJ Fresh, and then I got L Fingers. You know what I'm saying? They produced the whole thing for me.
Gotcha. How did you get connected with the producer from Texas?
You know, out there, I was born in Texas. You know, I was made in the Bay, made in Oakland, you feel me? But I was born in Texas, so I go back.
Now,
and
when
forth.
you say you were made, or you say you were conceived, and Yogi Calhoun was that? I mean, no, I'm just fucking.
That I will clear that because they already know. My mama met my daddy in Oakland.
Okay,
you feel me? And they, you know, I think they had a night on the town or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess it went the way it's supposed to go, and they had me. Now they disagreed shortly after that, you know. Pops was, you know, allegedly caught, you know, with some infidelity, so she left.
So was it quality over quantity?
That's crazy. You know, he was young. You feel me? He didn't know no better. So that's how I come in the picture, man. So I went to Texas. So long story short, my mama from Texas, my daddy from Oakland, and I've been going back and forth my whole life. So, just being in Texas, man, you know, I had a lot of success out there. I done been on the radio. I done had hit records in the club. You know, I got a fan base out there. So the producers out there who had been producing the big artists out there, eventually I was able to make my name in the city, and they wanted to work with me.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so they had good, they got sales history. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Psycho and Mr. Coop.
You know what? Texas is a big state, and you could damn near go platinum in Texas.
Yeah, you can. I talked to it's a artist named J Dog. J Dog, he with Slim Thug and them with the Boss Hog Outlaws.
Okay.
And I talked to him one day, and I'm listening to his music. I'm like, this shit go crazy. It will for sure sell in the Bay. And I had a show with him, and I'm like, man, why you don't go to the Bay? You know what I'm saying, to market your music. And he said, to be real, he said, man, if you get Texas, you don't need nowhere else.
Yep.
You feel me? So you absolutely right. You can go platinum in Texas alone.
Yeah, you know, and then a lot of them are independent, right?
Yeah. A lot of them more, but you know, they had a distro like how we got Empire out here. They had Selecto Hits back in the day, and Selecto Hits is in Houston. That's how Slim Thug got, you know what I mean, got rich, and you know, a lot of them artists down south, they had Selecto Hits. They had one of the biggest hip hop distribution companies in the city.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, cutting checks.
So since you were talk about the difference between the support that you feel that Texas gives each other in terms of the radio station, the clubs, the artists to artists versus the Bay Area.
It's the Bay Area. It's a bigger market. Like I believe KML in the Bay, we like number 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying, on the nationwide. You know what I mean, like radio chart. So it's more difficult to get on the radio out here. So if you get on the radio in the Bay, you talking to more of the consumers, more demographic. So it's gonna be more difficult. So down south, I think they maybe in the teens somewhere, 9. You know what I mean? They further down. You know what I'm saying, on the list. I think you got like New York, L.A., the Bay, I think Miami. So it's like that. So in Texas they got Houston, but Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? You got Lubbock, you got Amarillo, you got Odessa. It's a lot of areas out there. You got it's a lot of areas. So I feel like the difference is just that it's easier to get on the radio
in Texas.
in Texas. Yep, I feel like it's easier to get on the radio because in the Bay, we talk that mixtape shit and independent and out the trunk, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. But once I got a taste of that radio and what that radio do for you, it's just like a bullhorn. You talk to everybody at once. You know what I mean? My celebrity went up immediately. I gained the fans, I gained the college kids, and I gained the working class people. Already had the hood, already had the street niggas. They already knew who I was and what I do. But when I got on that radio, I got the students and I got the working class people.
Gotcha. So this is what I want to know, G, because you got to slow it down for me a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying that when you say that you speak to the radio station in the Bay Area speaks to more people than in Texas, are you saying that it's more rap fans in the Bay Area than in Texas?
Oh, no. What I mean by that is just that the radio itself as a business and what it does, it's like having a bullhorn. When we independent, we got to go hand in hand. I got to meet you individually. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is my CD. I'm Yogi Calhoun. Check me out. I got to do that one by one. But being on the radio, you talking to everybody at once. It's like having a bullhorn and yelling. You know what I mean? So millions of people, you talk to millions of people at one time as opposed to going door to door. You know what I mean? So
Gotcha.
It's like an email blast, if you will.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm still trying to figure that out.
As opposed to just texting somebody one time, like, hey, check me out.
So
you know
the
what I mean?
radio in the Bay Area speaks to more people than the radio station in Texas?
The radio in the Bay, for sure, talks to more people than a smaller market. I'm not sure what Houston is, what number they is on the list, but I'm just saying as far as the whole idea of it, of us being independent and coming out the trunk in the Bay, we wasn't aiming for the radio. I wasn't. Yeah. I was just, my mixtape and, building my fan base like that. Being a real nigga in the street, being a reputable and putting out music, I was slowly growing my fan base. I wasn't even trying for KML. You know what I'm saying? I knew different little lanes and different little ways I could have invested and got on KML, but it was a crapshoot. I would rather build myself up, from the ground up. But going to Texas, I got on the radio on accident. I just basically put out a record like I do. I marketed it. I promoted it. The DJ, who was a big he's a big DJ for the colleges. So he liked the record and he started playing it in the club. So that became first. That popped first. And then from there, it got popping on the radio. And then I got the city. So what I'm just saying is that the radio concept, no matter where you at, if you in a small market or a big market, is basically going to put your music on steroids if you get on the radio. You know what I mean? So I would recommend any artist, get on the radio if you can. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And who you got on the project?
The project that I got right now, man, I kept it close to home, man. I do everything organically. I got a player sound, man, and my attitude and my personality click with certain people. Like, so on this one, I got 2 features. I only got Cousin Feek, you know what I'm saying, from Sick With It.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, shout out Feek, man, real player, man. I like that guy. And then my dude, Eddie Penthouse. You know
gotcha. Shout out to Ed.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with them dudes and their personality, it kind of lets you know what the sound is like on the record. It's basically just, I make designer music. You feel me? I like designer clothes, designer shoes, so I make designer music. So, I feel like DJ Fresh is a designer producer, you know what I mean? He high end. L Fingers, same thing, They get me, A long time I was just working with the scraps I was given, but, being in the game for so long, now I got the resources and the relationships to make what I want to make.
Gotcha. So how did you run across Cousin Vic?
Cousin Feek. Where I meet Feek at? Hit a Slim. You know what I'm saying?
La Rue.
Yeah, La Rue. Yeah.
Old school La Rue.
Yeah, supporting Hit a Slim, supporting La Rue. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my boy on this new hair growth journey. You feel me? My boy Hit a Slim. He done grew his hair out. You see? He grew his hair out. Shout out my boy Slim. But supporting Slim at one of his events, and Cousin Feek was there. I ran into him a couple of different times, and I had a birthday party I had through at downtown, and Feek pulled up with was slim. So we just locked in. We kept running into each other.
Yeah.
And, eventually, I mean, I asked him to get on the record, and it was a layup. It wasn't hard at all.
Gotcha, man. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out to Sick With It Boys.
And are those the only two people that you got on the album?
Rappers, features, yeah. Cousin Feek and Eddie Penthouse. And I've been knowing, I know him when he was Eddie Projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I met Eddie back in a long time ago. I met him in we was at a bar one time. And I'm not even sure if he knew who I was, but he just came up and he spoke to me. He's like, man, I see you all the time. He's like, you peasy, you feel me? Like, player, you feel me? So, he just extended his friendship and shit. From there, we just always was locked in, you know what I mean? And then later on down the road, I seen him having success with, his solo career. Hitters on the Payroll was already a thing. I believe Hitters on the Payroll was already a thing at that time. But it's like, it was all around that time.
Yeah, that sound like that might have been about 03.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there. I think I did know who Eddie was because for sure Hitters on the Payroll had that run. And then later on, I think, that's around the time when he was working on his solo shit. So he was popping out solo. When I seen him, he was by himself. So, so from there, so that relationship just lasted over years. We ain't never fell out or had no bad blood. So, he back in the game, moving and grooving and having it his way. So, I just reached out. Ask him to get on something. I
like what you just said. You know what I'm saying? You was talking about, how he walked up to you and the feelings was mutual, and having positive energy, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's very important to have positive energy. Mm-hmm. Why don't you speak to how important it is to have positive energy versus how people try to make money with having negative energy?
Man, the negative energy is always going to be a bad thing, As long as I've been rapping, I've always been on positive time, good energy, and just kind of having tunnel vision on what I wanted to do. But, I bumped my head one time and had a disagreement with a rapper. And, and since we couldn't settle it, in private, it kind of went public. And I was on tour at the time. And when I was on tour, me being on tour, the promoters was like real nervous. Like when we was going to these different towns, they was kind of, they was like a little timid, like I said, man, I ain't never went platinum and none of that, So I don't even know how they got the word because it wasn't nothing like we was arguing back and forth on the phones and shit. But they knew that, that I had an issue with another rapper and they was like, he's across town at this other thing. Like, do we need to, like, and I don't know, it just fucked the money up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it fucked the money up, man.
I'm glad you said that, man.
It fucked the money up, blood. Like, cause I ain't never, we real niggas and we always like, we don't do that rap shit. We ain't finna funk with no nigga on no record. That we don't do that shit. But, my hand was kind of forced. Like the shit went public and, this the rap game. So, if you rap at me, I'm gonna rap back. You feel me? So it was one of them kind of things. But but I would never engage in that kind of shit again.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't do it. I was against it before that. But the way that the shit got painted, my hand was kind of forced. But yeah, it's negative, man. I would definitely say, anything negatively being promoted around a business is a no-go.
Gotcha. And we're going to tie right back into that real quick because I like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, how did it get resolved?
Shit, it really didn't. You know what I'm saying? Really, we had a mutual friend, reach out and, communicate. And a solution was offered, you feel me? And I agreed to the terms and it never manifested. So, motherfucker just stayed out my way. You know what I mean? So,
vice versa. Y'all over there, we over here, and that's cool. What?
Not really. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking to, to resolve it because I don't like shit lingering. You feel me? We all grown and, everybody, responsible for their own words and actions. So I really wasn't avoiding it. I kind of was ready to crash out over that shit. I ain't gonna lie. But, not even crash out, just settle it. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel some kind of way, I feel some kind of way. Let's just, let's meet in the middle. But, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it wasn't nothing, man. Niggas be more or less, want attention or I don't know, drugs, alcohol. A lot of these
it's
niggas,
always that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, cause when I reached out and I tried to get it resolved, everybody around him was like, alcohol, man. Nigga be drunk, man.
Nigga be drunk.
Nigga be drunk, man.
Why don't let it be right after tax time and a thick
drunk, man.
and a thick little bra with biker shorts in there. Oh, hey, niggas be saying quality over quantity.
Hey, you gotta focus on the quality, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta focus on the quality. That's my whole everything in life. No matter what you're doing, if you a barber, you a stylist, you clean shoes, you wash cars. The quality is what's gonna get you through it.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because I was talking about how one of my favorite rappers, Tupac, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh man, that motherfucker was, he was raw. He was dope. I really like when he turned into Machiavelli because that was kind of like the encompassment of all his monikers in one, right? But I want to know something. My friend said, well, Tupac was quality. No, he was quantity over quality. Do you find that to be true?
Pac was quality over quantity?
No, he was quantity.
Quantity, that he was just pumping shit out. I mean, I feel like two things could be true. I feel like you could have a quantity of quality. So I feel like whoever that is, probably felt like that because of the amount of music he had out. But I don't feel like Pac was quality. I mean, quantity over quality. I don't feel like that because I don't like 100% of nobody music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every artist, no matter who it is, whoever you think the dopest person is,
yeah,
it's some, they for sure got some songs where I'm like, I don't know what he was thinking on that one, or I don't like that beat or whatever. So yeah, so I disagree. I think Pac was for sure quality and quantity.
Well, I think when I think about Tupac, I think that he was a rap machine, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of music that came out after his death, those weren't albums that he actually put out. Mm-hmm. Those are somebody saying, oh man, if you had a Tupac album.
Oh, you talking about like the Machiavelli 15 and all
that's
that?
That's what yeah. Because he put out 4 or 5 albums, right? He put out 4 or 5. He put out 4 when he was alive, and Machiavelli, the last one, the one, the Jesus cover one.
Yeah, that's the only one I would give Machiavelli credit to was that one.
Yeah, but then it was still a bunch of music.
Tim was bootleggers. I don't think.
But it was still Tupac though.
Yeah, it was Pac.
It was still him though.
Okay, but what you saying about those? Because I think that's what people is giving that moniker of the quality.
Of course, people were counting those. You can only count what you heard from artists. It's music.
Yeah, but I don't think that's fair though to put that on Pac because he didn't stand behind those records. He probably did them and so he did them, but the way that they was organized, like he probably put, because I'm an artist and I know I probably got a song that's great for this project, but it won't be good for this one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe a certain number of songs will be great together.
Yeah.
But if you take this one and put it over there, then, you might disappoint the fans. They might feel like,
Well, you know what? That's real. And I'm taking you on. 2 things could be true at once.
Yeah.
I'm glad they came out though. Cause some of, I like some of the, some of that shit. Fucking with the wrong niggas. I love that. I can ride around all night,
On that one.
Yeah, but for sure. You know what I'm saying? So if you had some artists, right?
All right.
If you had some younger artists and, younger artists and shit like that,
okay.
they be into stuff.
They do.
They be into stuff. Say like your artist is in a beef or something like that. You as a CEO, are you letting him handle that or are you getting in touch with the artist yourself? How would you go about that?
The person that he dealing with?
Yeah.
Having a problem with?
Yeah.
Man, it depends on what's going on and how attached I am to the artist. Overall, we got to protect the brand. So I'm not big enough of a company yet to where I could just exclude an artist and just write him off as an artist and, he doing what he doing. You know what I mean? I couldn't do that. So if I was ever in business with somebody, I kind of would embrace and, inherit whatever they got going on. So I couldn't have, at this level, because I'm still hands-on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ain't just out here signing niggas that got good imaginations and shit. And they just, rapping these crazy ass stories. Then I could tell you, you be the Crip over there and then you be the Blood over there. And, you know what I'm saying? And then we could try to do it like that. So yeah, like if I fuck with you, I'm gonna fuck with you. So so I would, me being the type of person I am, I'm gonna inherit whatever it is they got going on. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Now I always see you by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You consider yourself a popular loner.
Man, it ain't really by. My pops when I was little, he used to always before I could even understand what he meant, he would always just say, "What's the number one rule?" And then I would always say, "No niggas, no niggas, no niggas." That's what he would always say. Pops would be like, he taught me that one day. He was like, "No niggas, no," and then he'd be with his partners and shit, and he'd be like, "Yo, come here." And I'd be like, and I'm like, what's up? And he'd be like, what's the number one rule? And I'd be like, no niggas, no niggas, no niggas. You feel me? And I didn't even understand that shit till I got older.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, Pops was the same way. You know what I mean? R.I.P. Lester Young, you know what I'm saying? My Pops was one of them niggas, man, to where he knew everybody, but he wasn't clicked up with nobody. He just from Brookfield.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, just over time, you know, I got partners and crews and shit, you know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know, man, like a lot of my people passed, you feel me? To be real with you. You know what I'm saying? At one point we was like, you know what I'm saying, we'd be 10 of us, it'd be 15 of us and shit like that. But niggas died, niggas go to the pen. You know what I mean? Free Chum, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, JB, RP Jack, RP Pretty Black. You know what I'm saying? But even in them times, I was always a strong individual. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been a nigga you would see by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? Because I'm the same way. Like I got really like 2 sets of friends, you know? We're a lot of different type of friends, right? But I'm square to my gangster partners, but I'm more street to my square partners. So and plus I really don't fit in. Like my ideologies and what I'm thinking about and talking to them niggas don't be knowing what the fuck I be talking about. You know what I'm saying?
And that should be, and you know, a lot of time that should be a crutch.
Yeah. A
lot of shit be, you know what I mean, insecurities. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas run around with 50 niggas and 10 niggas and all that shit because they have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They feel they don't want to go nowhere if they got to go by themselves.
Now, this is the catch-22, right?
Yeah.
I could pretty much get in anywhere by myself. Oh, that's it, man. Yeah. But if I got like 3 or 4 niggas and it's already like 60 at the door, a nigga like, nah, nigga, that's gonna be $300. But if I go by myself, oh yeah, that's hell yeah. He was already in here, you know. You know, depending on where a nigga religious beliefs is, he feel like he can lie for 1 nigga, but not 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So check this out. I want to know something. When you was in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Were you working with like any artists, or did you get close to signing a rap a lot when you was out there?
Nah, not at all. When I went, I've always had my own brand, which is 712. That's my label. I had that since like 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's the area code, right?
Nah, 712 is actually my schedule. You know what I mean? 7 days a week, 12 months a year.
Oh, that's dope.
Just staying on it. You know, I'm from Oakland, so the area code is 510. I've been in Texas and I visit Texas because my mom is from out there. Gotcha. And my brother was out there. We did a bunch of hustling out there. So we've always went out there. But, you know what I mean, we ain't never embraced like, you know what I'm saying, the whole Texas culture and all that shit. But, you know, that's what 712 is. 712 just means 7 days a week, 12 months a year.
Gotcha.
So when I went out there on that end, I did meet an artist. I met a nigga from Richmond.
Gotcha.
I met a nigga from Richmond when I was out there, and he had the studio. He was seeing me run around with the dope boys and the niggas I know. And he popped up on me one day. And he was like, man, you know, I rap. I got a studio at my house because these niggas don't know nothing about no studio, none of that shit.
Gotcha.
So he like, I got a studio, and I started fucking with him. My nigga Kev, Cash Out Kev, you know what I mean? So I had signed him, and he started rocking with me. Hella talented, dope. You know what I'm saying? Kev, one of them artists where, you know what I mean, nigga fly, great personality, nigga got the work ethic, always writing, but he just won't put shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ever met somebody like that? Like
yeah.
They make a lot of music. You know what I mean? Nigga got a hard drive. He got a studio at his house.
Yeah.
I've been rapping all this time. I ain't never had a studio.
Yeah,
you know
I know.
I got one now. You know what I mean? That I bought.
A few motherfuckers like that.
Yeah, so he was one of them. So, you know what I mean? And then I ended up signing this other cat that I had signed too, Young Gutter. And I got music and videos with both of them. You know what I'm saying? And yes, when I was on that end, you know what I'm saying, we was pushing the hard line. It was a good look. You know what I mean?
So this is what I want to know. If he does all this music and he's on your label, then why didn't you put it out?
He got to turn it in. You got to turn it in. You know what I mean? Like, my job is, you know, I'm like the distro. I can help with the marketing. I can get you in some places. I can get you in some faces, but you got to give me the tools I need to succeed.
Gotcha.
So if you don't turn the record in, I can't do nothing for you.
So do you still talk to him?
Yeah, that's my nigga.
Gotcha.
I talked to him the other day.
You thinking about, hey, nigga, you thinking about putting out that album from 1991, nigga?
Man, we had a project called Bottle Boys that we had did that was cold. It was dope because we wasn't doing nothing but going to the club, buying sections, getting bottles, going up. Because, you know, I'm a hood celebrity, and then I got on the radio, so you feel me? My fame was through the roof.
Let me tell you something real quick. That name, Bottle Boys, that's clean because I could just already see, like, you could have like two cartoon like Bottle Boys, but it be looking like y'all though.
Yeah,
you know,
the name was dope, man. That's a raw ass name, and right now I still ain't seen nobody come with that. But you know what I mean, as soon as I do, it'll be something, man. I usually get somebody usually remix something I do.
Oh, for sure. You know they
get influenced. Yeah. You feel me? I influence a lot
act like
of
they
shit.
didn't see it. Do some shit like this.
Yeah, I was talking about that the other day. I had like 32. This is my second Instagram page. The other one they took when I was at like 10,000 followers. Right now I'm at like 2,200.
People always talk about they. Who is they that took it?
Meta, you feel me? The United States, whoever in charge of that shit. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, on my page, I only got like 2,200 followers right now because I'm building it back up.
Okay.
But my views is like 32,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they peeking, but they ain't speaking. You know what I mean? They coming over there and they just stealing all the sauce and running off.
Oh, that's what they do.
I mean? Yeah.
That's what they do.
It's okay though. I'm used to it.
That's what they do.
It's okay. But Bottle Boys, yeah. But I'm saying that's a dope name. But
super dope.
Yeah. So kid, that's my Nick. I still fuck with him. But I like people like that because he passionate about the music. You feel me? Like he write even when he ain't putting nothing out.
Yeah.
He just like, you know.
He loved the art.
He loved the art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He loved the art.
So I gotta hit you out with one of my favorite one of my questions of the day real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you kinda gotta be on your toes a little bit for this.
Let's see.
So you said 712 stands for 7 days a week.
12 months a year.
So I gotta ask you this. How many months have 28 days?
I believe all of them.
Yeah.
Hello. www.yogicalhoon.com.
You know, motherfuckers be out there. One.
I'm kind of slick, man. That's how I got the name Yogi. You know what
I mean? Okay, yeah. Hey, look, I like how you just gracefully and you did it so raw for the dark niggas.
For the dark niggas, though. I believe I'm like a mocha. That's what I've been hearing. I'm like a mocha, like a mocha type of nigga.
Oh, is that what they? Hey,
yeah,
but you is kind of mocha right here, but your cheeks get black.
Hey, when I was young, I had a skin problem. You know what I'm saying? I used to when I was a young nigga, man, my shit was blotched up like a motherfucker.
You know what's crazy?
I think it was because of milk or something.
Hey, man, it was this chick, man. She was really, really dark, and she was younger, and she used to be talking shit. And we had that relationship where we was shooting back, but she was younger than me at Tesla. And then, you know what? I said, hey, T. She said, what? I said, you know how you dark? I said, I like how you dark, and then I like how you get darker if you was a nigga where your beard to be.
This nigga crazy. You gonna get fired. See, I would have been let your ass go.
Hey, but you know what I'm saying? Something. Hey,
fire on.
Let me tell you something at Tesla. If all motherfuckers was doing is capping, man, motherfuckers was getting so high back then. Not me though.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know what? And I wear sunglasses a lot. You know what I mean? I always got on glasses, man. You know what I mean? I got that from my pops too. That's another habit I got. I got a bunch of sunglasses and shit.
Well, speaking of habits, I see you got that big chain on. It kind of look like the one Nas got for QB.
Yeah, man. You know, Nas actually he influenced this piece. I like Nas, man, and how he get down. You know how he carry himself. You know what I mean? Like he ain't overly aggressive. You know what I mean? He articulate with his lyrics. Like he got his fame from his art. You know what I mean? Everybody respect Nas as an artist. It wasn't like, oh, he's a tough ass nigga. He done sold all this dope and he shoot people. You feel me? They respect him for that. And the way he carried himself was just, you know, I just thought, you know, Nas was always a fly nigga to me. And then that piece that he came back in the day with, I seen everybody emulate the Dream Chaser chain. I done seen people emulate the Death Row chain a million times. I'd never seen nobody, you know what I'm saying, play with that one. So I was like, man, I'm gonna redo it. And what's crazy is when I finally redid it, I seen Gucci pop out with it probably maybe about 6 months later. You know what I'm saying? I guess, but his wife had got it made for him. Yeah, he got a big piece say Ice Baby, whatever. You know what I mean? I guess it's like with his son name or something like that because his son named Ice. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nas for sure influenced it. I took a bunch of pictures of it. I drew it out and all kind of shit and sent it to my jeweler and showed him how I wanted it to look. But since then, I've seen maybe I seen Gucci and I seen maybe like some other young cat I think down south had, you know what I mean, had one, but they was all like inspired. It really wasn't the same. Like
that one is closer to it.
Yeah, I
would even say like the 50 Cent G Unit, like the one that kind of spent a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like a cousin of it, but that's one of the closer ones that I actually seen to it.
Yeah. I did a lot of research on it. I was a fan of it for a long time, so this is one of the art pieces I'm proud of.
Yeah, man. But speaking of being a connoisseur and stuff like that, what are some of your turn-offs and turn-ons with women?
Turn-offs? You know what I'm saying? A turn-off with a woman. You know, hygiene, you know what I'm saying, cleanliness, you know, personality, you know what I'm saying, like laziness, and just I would say them things. Yep, masculinity. You feel me?
Now, when you say masculinity, what does that actually mean?
I'm just saying, like, you know, like a raspy ass voice. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman that got a raspy voice.
So what did she cook and stuff like that? But she just had
that.
Oh, the voice.
Like I'm just saying, like, well, what I mean by masculinity, honestly, is I mean a woman that say, "You feel me," and you know, and,
what's up, bruh?
And yeah, that kind of terminology. You know, I like dainty, pretty, sexy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really subscribe to the turf girls.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's really what I mean. The voice thing, you know, she can't help that. You know, her daddy might have had a, you know what I mean, a voice like that, but over the phone, that just ain't. It's not a turn on.
Yeah. What about smoking cigarettes?
That's how I hate that. I don't like a woman that smokes cigarettes. I don't think there's nothing sexy about that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's it just shows that, you know, you got a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Yeah, cigarettes. I mean, who's smoking? They still sell cigarettes?
Hell yeah. They say that if you know, they trying to take the menthol ones off the out the stores.
Cigarettes, like cigarette, your breath gonna stink, your clothes gonna stink. You gonna inconvenience me at some point because you want a cigarette. You want me to pull over? You want me to, you know what I'm saying? And that shit's so bad because every time somebody that smokes cigarettes asks somebody else for a cigarette, they always give them one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't never like, you know what I'm saying? They feel them like, here, you can have one. I'm like, shit, I don't never want that shit. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, but yeah, that's a turn off for sure. I'm not a fan of women that smoke cigarettes at all.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of inconvenience and stuff like that, or just in popular news, what do you think about the 50 Cent thing that he got going on? You know, as far as like the Irv Gotti.
As far as the Irv Gotti?
Yeah, like when he was talking about, you know, he was smoking on the Irv pack.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. How I feel about that? I mean, I think it's on brand. I think he stands true to who he is. You know, if it's fuck you in the flesh, it's fuck you in the you know, in the afterlife. I think he stand on brand. That's what I expect him to do. You know what I mean? Some people got a little respect for their enemies and they can, you know, rest. No matter what he would have did, if he would have said rest in peace, Irv Gotti, or you know what I'm saying, no matter what, we was gonna take it like some sideline ass comment or something. So I don't think I think that's on brand for 50 to do that. You know, that's crazy, man. But I know a lot of people would feel like with all that money he got and all that success he got, he should be off of that. You know what I'm saying? But they say money just enhances who you are.
That's what I said earlier about what I said. I think I said that earlier in the last interview. You know,
and I'm one of them niggas that like rap beef. You know
you do?
Yeah, I like rap beef.
So let's talk about it a little bit.
And I like that. I like that shit.
So,
yeah,
but not for you though.
Nah, I would never engage in it, but I'm a man, so if I'm ever forced to defend myself, I'm gonna do just that. But I would never be the person that's gonna engage in it. But I believe in my rap ability and my lyrical ability, anything, hooping, running, racing, whatever nigga want to do, I believe in my ability to win. Yeah. So I just wouldn't engage in I wouldn't initiate no battle rap, but I for sure would defend. Even in the case I was talking about, all I did was just defend myself. Somebody went online and said a bunch of rigmarole, and I just and I called them, and I couldn't get them on the phone, so they left me no choice but to respond on the same platform that they did, which was the internet. So I went and just.
Is this the MySpace days?
Nah. I didn't have some Facebook. Nah, it wasn't that long ago. No, that was this was all YouTube. Yeah, like YouTube. That's where I seen that it was on YouTube. The second rap beef. The first rap beef I had was a nigga on Facebook talking slick, and I happened to see the shit. And then, so yeah, I done had 2 incidents when it comes to this rap shit, and I know how to deal with it now, which is don't even engage in that shit. These niggas just being either drunk in their feelings and don't want no smoke, or the other nigga just jealous and clout chasing and he don't want no smoke. So, you know, because I couldn't wait. You feel me? I'm a real nigga, so I ain't gonna lie. I was waiting on the nigga to try to, you know what I mean, to say some slick shit about Yogi, or he ain't this or he ain't that, so I couldn't wait. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I was waiting. So that's what fucked me up the first time. Because as soon as the nigga said something, I was on his helmet immediately, but he didn't want nothing. He was just trying to He didn't even know me. He would just he didn't like my position. Is really what it was.
What you mean he didn't know you?
He didn't know me. I had never met the gentleman. I had never smoked with him, did no business or nothing. I was just in a town and I was popping. I was on the radio. I'm having money. I'm looking good. I'm riding sixes. Like, niggas keep hearing about me. And since I'm a rapper, a lot of niggas gonna assume that I'm fake or I ain't with the shit. So I think that's what he was thinking. And 50 Cent influenced niggas to think that they could just talk about whoever popular and maybe they could overthrow, you know what I'm saying, the kingdom or the government of what's going on. So with the Ja Rule situation. And I seen that happen on more than one occasion where that's what niggas think.
Wait, slow down a little bit, you know. When you say 50 Cent influenced motherfuckers to think that they could just overthrow the kingdom.
What I mean by that is Ja Rule was the most popular rapper at that time.
Gotcha.
So 50 Cent came out and basically, you know, down talked his character and, you know, and tried to downplay his success. And then, you know, when he got in position, you know, everybody looked at him like, okay, 50 been popping since then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it seemed like the formula was to just talk about whoever owned and then, you know, out tough guy him and then you could become the guy.
Well, you know what?
But you got to be tougher than him.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't tougher than me. You feel me? And that's what the problem was. So niggas was trying that and it just didn't work in their favor.
Yeah. Well, speaking of 50, he got that show BMF, right?
Yeah.
Now, I think did he just cancel that show?
Allegedly. He talking that shit right now.
Yeah.
He act like he not going to continue on with the season. This conversation is happening everywhere. It got to be because we were just having it.
Yeah,
I was talking to my uncle about this and trying to get his take on it, how he feel. He felt like 50 Cent a bitch ass nigga for the way he went about the whole shit.
That the BMF show?
Yeah, for how he dealing with Lil Meech and Big Meech. He felt like he on some bitch ass shit for that.
What is your take on it? Is he standing on brand?
Is he standing on brand? The confusion is why he doing what he doing. The way he attacking him and going about it, that's on brand. But I'm not sure on why he choosing to deal with him because what he's saying is, you know, Big Meech a rat. And, you know, that's what he posting. But what everybody else is feeling is that he took a picture with Rick Ross and that's what caused, you know what I'm saying?
That was triggering.
That's what the triggering was. And, you know, so it just depends on what it is because I don't know why he on that type of time. Like, do you feel like you doing that because, you know what I mean, you feel like Meech is a rat, so that's why you attacking his character? Or do you feel like, you know what I'm saying, he unloyal because he did the Rick Ross shit?
Yeah.
So, I ain't really figured out. Both them niggas rich, so they gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I think if we talking business.
So what pretense do you think that 50 Cent thinks that he's a rat is? Where do you think he's getting all that from?
What, that he's a rat?
Yeah.
I don't know. He keep mentioning some lady named Tammy Cowan or Tammy Cohen. And apparently
where did she come from?
I don't know. Oh, from what I understand, now, you know what I'm saying? Now I can't confirm, but what it looked like is that he basically had a lady he was dealing with, and while he was locked up, she was the one that was handling his business for him. And she was the one who basically sold his life rights and organized the whole BMF situation with 50 Cent.
Gotcha.
So from what I'm hearing, it seems as if she was basically engaging in some mischievous activity, which might have got somebody else locked up while Meech was down. So that's a thing too. Niggas that go to the feds, it is a part of being in the feds where you could possibly get, you know, released early or get some time cut if somebody act on your behalf as a rat, as a snitch. So if me and you locked up, you know what I mean, I send one of my people to go do a buy with somebody else and they get them caught up, you feel me, I could potentially get time off my sentence. And that's what, you know what I mean, people, that's what's circulating and why they saying that, you know what I mean, Meech could possibly be a rat. Like, he didn't tell nobody when he first went to jail, you know what I'm saying, and point nobody out. But it sounds like he might have been involved in some other activity that could have got his time cut, you know what I mean? So we don't know if 50 knew, you know what I mean, because that wasn't nothing new that just happened. I think that would have been some old news. And it's like, if you chose to do business with him, you must have been privy to that information. So why you mad now? And it's like, maybe because of the Rick Ross situation. So it might be all tied together. I don't know, you know. I know how it look, but I really don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit, the BMS.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
50 exposed the text message from Lil Meech that he had got.
Okay.
Right? And in that message, he said that Meech took the money from Ross. He basically said that Rick Ross gave my pop some money in order to pay his bills, but fuck Rick Ross. So he basically is just like, you know what I'm saying? We loyal to you, or I'm loyal to you, but Ross gave my pop some money in order to do what he doing to pay his bills. Do you feel like Big Meech is broke?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because if he compromised his relationship with 50 in order to go get some money from Ross, it's kind of alluding to the point that he might be hurting for money right now.
Well, the thing about it is that I don't know Big Meech. I don't know none of them, but I do know he's a legend, right?
Right.
And he been gone a minute.
Right.
And sometimes when people come home, I only imagine that they want to get kind of caught up back in the mix. And then Rick Ross got that song BMF, right? Mm-hmm. He might have just touched down there, hey, man, and Rick Ross probably wanted to give him a couple of dollars. Man, I really appreciate, man, the song, and I use your likeness and image or blah, 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 blah. Here go a couple of dollars. It could have been that. He might have been going to, hey, man, can I take a picture? I don't know. Obviously, people be fans of people from both sides of the spectrum. Because in the early days of rap, and this might sound like I'm getting off the subject, but I'm just going to tab back in. In the early days of rap, the rappers wanted to be like the street guys. Now the street guys want to be like the rappers, right? And when he came back home, maybe he just wanted to pick up some money. Because they throw people coming home parties to a certain degree, whether it's giving them some money, ain't they going to throw him a big concert?
Yeah, that's what they promoting. They promoting a big Meech welcome home party in order to, that's what they doing.
Is Ross going to be on the catalog or something, or on the flyer?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's gonna be on the bill because they trying to generate some money. So I don't know if I'm not sure if they I'm sure he is. I'm sure Ross. Why wouldn't he be?
So I don't understand how that picture is or that one picture or something like that is gonna affect the concert. You know what I'm saying?
I think
he's bound to run into him is what I'm saying.
I feel like 50 might have been on some while you was down. I got your son. I put your son in position to get some commission. I kept BMF going, even though I made money off of you. What nigga is gonna do something and not make no money? So let's just put that to the side. But I feel like 50 felt like I put your son in position to get some commission, and you couldn't even do nothing for your son while you was down. And then, I basically went out of my way, meaning I put him in acting classes. I didn't just select him. I trained him. I paid for him to go to acting classes.
Yeah.
I hired him.
Yep.
And, put his life on a whole different trajectory. So me doing that, you do owe me because you come home. So even though, Ross, shouted you out and kept your name lit, but what did he do for your family? He didn't do nothing for Lil Meech. He basically made money off the song and kept his career going. That was a good look. And some could say 50 Cent is in the same category where he made money off BMF, just like, they both made money off BMF. You know what I'm saying? But I think 50 kind of win because he reached out to his seed. He did something for the man's son.
Yeah.
And I feel like since he did that, he feels a loyalty that's probably never been spoken. He felt like it should just be a line in the sand that you should just, avoid that man. But the problem with that is if you don't compensate me comfortably or, handsomely enough, then I got to go do what I got to do to get a bag as a man. You know what I mean? So you can't get mad at that either. So you can't expect a nigga just to be fucking with you and starving. So, niggas got big bills. Nigga, you Big Meech, you got big bills. So, I feel like, it could go either way. I guess we got to see how it play out. But I feel like, or maybe communication. You feel me? If Meech was in a position where he need money for his bills and, shit ain't adding up, nigga gotta just, say that sometime. Hey, fifth, it's ugly right now. You know what I mean? This nigga offered me a bag. So, cause I fuck with circles and, I fuck with different movements and niggas, and I know it's a protocol, even if niggas don't say it, niggas be in their feelings about certain shit. So the correct way to handle that in real life would have been for Meech to holler at 50 and let him know, like, hey, bro, shit ain't looking on up and up for me. You think you could, throw me this or put me in position to do something and generate some money for me so I can take care of my bills. But a man being a man, niggas gonna get out there and try to get it on their own, and that could be taken the wrong way. Cause I didn't been in positions like that where I didn't, I didn't want to bother a nigga about something or, I didn't want to bother a nigga for something or even reach out. You know what I mean? For what? Because I know how to go get it, so I'm gonna go do that. And when
Yeah.
you do that, sometimes niggas take that the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? As if you got ulterior motives or something. So it ain't nothing a conversation couldn't fix. So
Yeah, you know, and one thing from studying like 50 Cent or just watching, you know, him, because I don't know him, but I do know that he takes his beef serious.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But anybody that's been, his mother was murdered, like I said earlier. His mother was murdered when he was a young child, like 8, and he was shot in the face 8 times. I mean, who wouldn't take beef of any level serious if that happened to you? That's PTSD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. I mean, it's a responsibility on both ends. I feel like if you want people up under you to behave in a certain manner, then you gotta do the same. You gotta put niggas in position to win. Like you really do. Like niggas be wanting niggas to, you know, abide and, you know, and be on a team, but you gotta make a nigga feel like that. Like you gotta give out the same thing that you want. But I think that's what it is. In order for him to react the way that he doing, I feel like he felt like, you know, I did this for your son, I did this for the franchise, and I feel like even though he probably never said it, he probably feel like there was a you know, invisible line of loyalty that he felt like, okay, you could go do whatever you got to do, but not with this nigga.
yeah.
Feel me? Anybody but this guy.
Well, you know, I mean, when I start thinking about his relationships with people, right? You know, sometimes people feel like, damn, man, I'm always having like these people turning on me. Like I'm doing this for this motherfucker, then he's doing this. I'm doing this for my BM. He's doing this. I'm sending my son $6,500 a month. Then he's doing this. So I'm sure he probably, I don't know if he went to go get therapy, but I mean, if I'm with, my mama done died. You know, she done died of murder. I don't know who did that, but maybe this motherfucker had something to do with that. Right? Then my best friend, his mama house getting shot up. That's what Tony Yayo talking about. I'm like, damn, and these is young motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
You know these niggas in the hood ain't going to get no therapy. So I'm possibly doing this. Then I got some artists. Then I'm telling them to do this. And then they fucking with some niggas that I don't like. Then they messing with some up. So at this point, it's like, who can I trust? Every time I wake up, somebody.
Yeah. Cause that's one thing we do hear about 50 is that he do shit for niggas, and that's what niggas was. That's what my uncle. That's what we was talking about, is that he was downplaying it so much. Like he made money off BMF. Yeah, he did this for Meech and off the series, but he made money off of it. It ain't like he just did. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but nigga gotta make some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but niggas don't do nothing for niggas.
That's what I'm saying.
So even if he made some money and Meech made some money too, you gotta realize niggas don't do anything for niggas. So if they do something, yeah, nigga do expect you to have some type of a, some kickback or some type of a, some type of a love for a nigga. You know what I mean?
I gotta ask you the question of the day because it was all on the internet, right?
Okay.
And it made me ask this question: do you think in the industry 50 Cent has done more good than bad?
Good.
By far. He done put hella people in position to make a ton of money. Right? He bought his BM, that house, took himself to child support, you know what I'm saying, and raised it up. I mean, if I heard it correctly, you know what I'm saying? His son was older, damn near giving him $6,500 a month, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. He's done a whole bunch of stuff for a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah, more good for sure. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent, he gave us a blueprint on the mixtape game. Okay, so just give you the short story because, been rapping for a long time. I've seen a lot of shucking and jiving, a lot of fuckery, right? What I did respect about what the nigga did is he did his first album. He had his young niggas with him. The second album, he immediately put the young niggas on. He didn't have them niggas in the back for 4 albums. It came his album and then the G Unit album. You feel me? Everybody was involved. He could have easily had Curtis Jackson clothing. It was always the brand. It was always the movement. G Unit shoes, G Unit clothing, which gave everybody a platform to eat. I heard about a meeting that they had where everybody came to the meeting and nobody had on G Unit clothing, and they all was getting checks because they are G Unit.
The Reeboks,
we all G Unit, and everybody get a check coming off the brand, and you call a meeting. And nobody got on G Unit. Everybody got on, all this other shit, LRG and Gucci and all that shit probably. So he put niggas in position, you feel me? And he did his job. So, like, I've always seen that out of him. And the the backlash for not, you know what I'm saying, appreciating it or reciprocating what he do is crucial. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody kind of like trip on, is like how he go about it and how long he be on your helmet for. But people kind of ignore that the nigga do a lot of good. You know, names like Lloyd Banks, and you know names like, you know what I mean, Tony Yayo.
Yeah.
He gave Mace action when he was done for a little while.
He re-signed a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
MOP, Mobb Deep.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
gave Olivia a shot. You know what I mean? We ain't heard nothing from her since.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know where she at. Shout out Olivia, wherever you at out there.
Yeah.
But you know, MOP, you feel me? He got niggas action. Mobb Deep. So yeah, he did for sure more good than bad. You know what I mean? People just don't, you know, people don't agree with the way he go about shit. But as a CEO, I didn't put niggas on and gave niggas chains and money and position and videos and invested. So I get it. And until you know what I'm saying, do that kind of shit for people where you taking money out your pocket or, you know, minimizing something that you could have bigger in order to cut somebody else's slice and see how they act. I could see why a nigga act like that sometime. You know what I mean? Because that's what we complain about in hip hop. Everybody complain like, we need to come together.
Yeah.
Come together. Give me a shot. And then sometimes you give a nigga a shot and a nigga return you by spitting in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which might fuck it up for the next man. So now he don't get opportunity because now you traumatized from the last fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? And weirdo. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, you know, I get it, bro. On, you know what I mean? Why he behaved the way he do and how he act. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, ain't nobody giving nobody shit around this motherfucker.
Well, you know what? I want to kind of dive into something real quick, right? You know who LeVar Ball is?
LeVar Ball, the basketball player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The father.
Yeah.
People say that he's a bad father. What's your take on that?
I disagree. I feel like he was present, and I feel like he was able to deliver his kids a skill set and tools to feed themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, what else could you want? A lot of people don't even know their daddies. You know what I mean? Never even seen their father. So him being present for one is already a win. And then for two, he was able to, you know what I mean, get them a skill set where they could fend for themselves and start their own families if need be. So, you know what I mean? I agree with his tactics and, you know, the way he going about it, trying to be independent and trying to fight the juggernauts. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And we sitting there talking about him. We know his name, so he must be influential. You know what I mean?
Because I think that he does a great job. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't like his wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way he carry himself. You feel me? I feel like he could do a better job with that. You know what I mean?
What, like dress better?
Yeah, I don't agree with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know he's a big guy.
Yeah, but I agree with the, you know, the mentality and what he trying to do.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a big guy.
You know? But,
hey, so I want to know something now.
Yeah.
That was the warm-up question.
Okay.
The next question is this. Do you think Joe Jackson was a bad dad?
Hell no. Hell no. Joe Jackson wasn't a bad dad. He like everybody's dad. More niggas need their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? And put in a group. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is successful. So, you know, you can't complain about, you know what I'm saying, the work and love the result. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's life. Everybody complain about work, but when you get paid, you feel good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you feel good. So, yeah, and a lot of people need a little kick in the ass. You know what I mean? A lot of people need a little motivation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got no kids, but if I did, I'm sure raising kids in this day and time with social media and all the electronics, I'm sure it's a little difficult to get your kid to move and do some shit.
You know, you know the whole conversation with you about kids, when I asked you, did you want some kids? You said, no, I don't even want to be a dad. I mean, I'd be a dad if I could raise you over the phone. Hey, do your homework. All right, I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, because when I say a dad, you know, I look at it as a father, like, a real father. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a kid, you know, I want to sponsor the uniforms for the little league team. I'm going to be out there hitting him grounders, you know what I mean? Making sure his batting game is together, making sure, you know, he know how to run the ball, bread basket with the running back. Like, I'm going to be hands-on.
Hey,
that's why I say.
Hey, when you said that, she was looking like, oh, I could see that. She was looking like this. You were like this. And I thought it was saucy how you did your hand. You went like this, you know, hit the grounders. And when you did this, you know, bread basket, she was like this.
You know what the bread basket is, right? You play football?
Ain't that like when you cuff it or something like that?
That's like as a running back, you know what I mean? Because I was a running back. So when the quarterback handing you the ball off, you got to switch your arms depending on what side.
Okay.
So if he handed it to you on the left, then you got to, you know, had an opening for him to put the ball right here.
Gotcha.
We call it the bread basket, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, so a father to me would be a lot of work and a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. But you know, I know a lot of niggas with kids or see people with kids, you know, and I'm like, I could do that shit. I can yell at the nigga over the phone. Hey, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen to your mama, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lay down. You know what I'm saying? I could do that. So if that's what we doing.
You know what? It is a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I
listen to your mama.
Yeah, for sure. Like having kids is a lot. You know.
Yeah.
Like my son, he was doing all right in school. He had a D or something, a C or something, but some good grades.
I kind of do want to have a kid just to experiment and just see what happens. I ain't gonna be there like that though. Like I'm over the phone and shit, you know.
No,
I'll text him.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, you know, let's just see what happens. You feel me? And just roll the dice. You know what I mean? Because he gonna love me anyway.
Well, how can you determine if it's a he? What if it's a she?
What you mean? Are you saying like if I have a daughter or not?
Yeah. Do you feel like you had a daughter that you would have to be there even more?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, I would.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because, you know, it's wrong. You know, as a you know what I'm saying? You know, the cute little girl get all the little extra snacks and get all the extra little shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a cute privilege. We can't act like it ain't no cute privilege out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The cute kids get more love and shit. So, but, you know, if I had a boy, though, you know, I would just assume he would, you know, he got to be a little more rugged. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he got to fend for himself. For
sure. Yeah. My son, he was doing all right in school and, but you know, this last report card, you know, he got straight A's.
Oh yeah, okay. Shout out to him.
You know, but that take time, so I had to take time on my personal things that I be doing and shit like that to get him straight. You know what I'm saying? But some motherfuckers be like, man, that's on you, man. You know, and that ain't cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I talk that shit, but you know, I come from a good family, so in reality, if I was ever faced with that responsibility of having a kid, I would be there. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I avoided it, because I've been focused on my career this whole time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So, you know, and then plus, you know, I've obtained a lot of assets over a period of time. You know, you gotta leave them something. I gotta leave this shit to somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So, but I just think it's funny that a lot of men don't take the time to think about that, and they had kids and they raised them over the phone and yelling at them and shit. I think that shit is funny.
For sure. Well, shit, we had a dope interview, man. Tell people where they can find you at.
Oh, man, you probably find me in your baby mama phone, man. You know what I'm saying? Just go in her phone, put that Y in there, and don't get your feelings hurt. You feel me? When you see that Yogi come up, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure I didn't steal the number. You dig what I'm saying? She gave it to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Willingly. You feel me? But in real life, man, you can find me at Yogi, man, _ Calhoun on Instagram, YOGI, traditional spelling, _ Calhoun, CALHOON. And, you know, I'm on Instagram and, you know, Spotify, YouTube. You know, go follow my YouTube channel, 712 Record TV. You know what I'm saying? I got a new podcast. I'm pushing all the shit. And, you know, it's a jury check. It's a drip check all in one. And then, you know, coming up, I got Quality Over Quantity 2 dropping, you know what I'm saying, on Valentine's Day. So, Yogi Calhoun on everything. Just make sure you spell it with 2 O's. For sure, man. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out. It's always a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a treat when players meet. For sure. Hello. Questions? Yeah, he know who the player is. No, yeah, you're my player partner, man. Yeah, my partner, man. Yeah. Well, I'm LD's for another episode I Need to Know, and as usual, come on, you know what I want.